Jamie Story, what do we got to do as the public? What can we do to save some money? How can we get ourselves a break? What would you recommend as a local think tank?
Well, it certainly comes down to staying active in the political process, voting for the people who most have your wallet, your family at heart. And we're nonpartisan, and certainly we agree with Democrats on some issues, Republicans on some issues. I think one particularly nonpartisan issue that both Republicans and Democrats should agree with is the need for more transparency, to let the public see how their tax dollars are being spent, how their legislators are voting on these bills at the Capitol. It's a maze trying to find your way around the schedule here, trying to find your way even around the website to find out how your legislator voted. The Grassroots Institute is trying to remedy both of those things. We now it's 99% complete, but it's fully functional. You can go to it right now. Visit hawaiivotes.org. And you can go on there and we can look up Representative Ward, and we can see already how he's voted on, I think, the 18 votes you've had to take so far this legislative session.
Is that all the votes I did, is 18?
Well, not committee, but just on the third record votes.
Okay.
Yeah. And same for you, Representative Pine. And you can later in session, when there are more votes available, you can even search by how you voted on every education bill. Same for every senator. And there's plain English descriptions of every bill, of every amendment. That's what we're still finishing up right now, but it should be ready just in another week or two. And then the other thing we're really pushing for, and I believe you sponsored legislation, House Bill 1840, to create a transparency website for
budget stuff.
For legislators to, for taxpayers to see how legislators are spending their tax dollars. And so what this would create is a searchable database online for every taxpayer to look at it and say, oh look, why did the governor's office spend $20,000 on fast food this year? I'm making that up, sorry, Governor Lingle. That's an example from another state.
Watching.
but really, some dozens of states have websites that you really can drill down to this detail. And if I, as a taxpayer, don't know how my legislators are voting or how they're spending my money, how in the world can I hold them accountable? So the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii is really trying to take a lead on that. So hawaiivotes.org is for the legislative transparency, and then hawaiisunshine.org is where we're starting to put up some of the financial transparency.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. I mean, I thank you so much for your institute and really being proactive with these certain things. I mean, I know with the federal stimulus, we don't even know where the money's going. We don't know where our billions and billions and billions of dollars are going to all these companies. So I think transparency is something that we all at least deserve in the public, since government does work for me and I don't work for government. So somewhere along the line we need to have our representation to be turned back around and really have our legislators and government starting to represent our needs and reflecting the things that we want at home. And certainly tax relief is one of them. Representative Pine, I also wanted to congratulate you today. I know it's a monumentous day for you. We got Karen's Law out of Finance Committee, and actually last year it was killed in Judiciary Committee with Chair Tommy Waters. So could you explain to the public what Karen's Law is and how that would affect their quality of life?
Well, I just want to thank the Speaker of the House, Calvin Say, and Finance Chair Marcus Ashiro for being very understanding and seeing the importance of this bill for our society. We just had a random stabbing of a woman in Eva Beach that could have been prevented because government failed the process of taking care of criminals and people that should not be out in society. And Karen's Law basically started when Karen Ertel, she was brutally murdered and raped by a 15-year-old, her neighbor. She was a witness to a crime that he did, and she was going to testify against him, and so that's why he was charged with first-degree murder, which rarely happens in the state of Hawaii. And so the family came to me and explained their pain from going through this court process that would first decide this under 18-year-old teenager whether he's going to be tried in the adult system or the juvenile system. And that caused a lot of fear to a lot of the residents in my community because they were told that he could get out when he's 18. So in a few years, this person will be lurking the streets again in the Eva area. And so my whole community lobbied the judge, and it was so much effort and so much energy by so many people, lots of testimony and many court hearings that the family had to go through just to try him as an adult. And that took over 15 months of their life as they're still mourning. And now they have to go through the regular adult trial now that he's tried as an adult. Almost every single case that has been brought forth of first or second-degree murder in the state of Hawaii by a juvenile has been waived to the adult court. So it seems the judges are already making the decision to waive them. So why put the family through this double jeopardy of these two trials where they have to relive the moment that they found their dead mother's body? And so this is really about victims' families' rights. It's really about cutting the budget and, you know, not doing things twice. What we found most horrendous was that everything that they did in the juvenile trial, the medical tests that they did on him, the psychiatrists and the different defense budgets and the prosecutors' budgets that were spent for those 15 months and the judges' budgets that was spent during that month, none of that information that they found in the juvenile trial can be used in the adult trial. So the family has to go through the same questioning over and over again in a second trial. So we found that really preposterous, and so we're just really happy that it's now moving over to the Senate. We're really hoping that the senators really give this family a chance, give them a voice, and allow them to their issue to go through the different committees.
So if anything, at least it saves the taxpayers money.
Oh,
right?
yes.
By skipping that process, it saves us some money, puts the money back into our pockets.
If the result's going to be the same anyway, why do people have to suffer, and why does government have to spend so much money for the same result?